Hi everyone, this is Amanda, and today I'm going to be teaching how to make this bodycon dress. Don't forget to like, comment and share my videos. Without wasting much time, let's get started. So I'm going to start by folding my fabric into 4. So as you can see, I have 2 under and then I just laid 2 on. So at this point, I'm going to be using the back bodice block. So I'm folding the zip extension in. So after folding the zip extension in, I'll go ahead and then pin it down so cutting will be easy. So after pinning, I'll just go ahead and then cut out. So at this point, I'm making sure my measurement is correct, and then whatever measurements I have for the hip, I'll be using that same measurement to the length I want for the dress. So if I want the dress to be at the knee, I'm maintaining the hip measurement to the knee. In case you want it fitting, you can reduce it by about 2 inches at the knee before connecting to the hip line. So at this point, I'm cutting it out, and I'll be cutting with the seam allowance at the shoulder. So after cutting it out, I went ahead to cut out all the full dress to the ankle level. So this dress is very long. So after cutting out, I'm going to separate the 2 pieces, that is the front and then the back. So I'm picking one piece out at this point, which I'll be shaping the neckline. So I just folded it in, as you can see, and then I came down by 4 inches since I've already taken 1 inch off on the pattern. So I added 3 extra inches, which I'll be cutting to the shoulder. This is for the front. So the neck depth for the front is 4 inches, and then for the back, I'll be making it 3 inches. So the difference is just 1 inch. So as you can see, I'm cutting it then to the shoulder. So after cutting out, I'm going to label this back so I don't get confused when working. And at this point, I've pinned both front and then back together, as you can see. So I'll be sewing the shoulders and then the side seams. Since I didn't add allowance to it, I'll just sew 1/2 inch, or you can decide to sew 2 inches and then trim the excess off, depending on how tight you want your dress to be. So at this point, I'm going to be cutting out the sleeves. So I'm folding this fabric into 4, as you can see, and I'll be measuring the armhole depth on the dress. So whatever measurements you get, you are going to use it for your sleeve. So at this point, I'm going to measure whatever I got at that point and then come down by 3 inches. If you are busty, you can come down by about 4 inches before drawing in your curve. So I'm shaping the armhole on the sleeve at this point, and then I'll re-put or reinsert my armhole depth measurement. So after that, I'll just mark my around arm measurement, and then the length of the sleeve solely depends on you. I'm making mine 7, and I'll be folding 1 inch in, so making 6. So I'm inserting my around arm measurements at this point, which I'll be connecting to the armhole depth before cutting out. So like I said, the length of the sleeve depends on you. I want it short, like a shirt sleeve. So while cutting, make sure you add your sewing allowance. Make sure you add your sewing allowance before cutting out, as you can see me doing. So that is it for the sleeve. I'm going to make a notch at the upper and then lower part so that I know where I'm sewing from. So after making the notch, I'm going to sew the lower part of the sleeve. So I folded my 1 inch in and then I went ahead to sew. So after sewing or folding the lower part, I'm just going to put in my measurements and then sew. So at this point, I'm done inserting my measurements and sewing, and I'll be making a notch at the center at that part on both sleeves, and I'll be joining it to the shoulder of the dress. So while joining, make sure the seam of the shoulder meets the notch you made at the center. So as you can see, I'm making sure it's on that line before pinning. So take your time and pin. Since it's a stretchy fabric, take your time and pin, and don't be stretching the fabrics while pinning. If the measurement is accurate, it will just fit in. So at this point, I'm done joining the sleeve to the dress, and it has come out nice. So I just cut out this fabric on bias, which I'll be using to pipe the neckline. So I'm folding it into two like this on the right side, then I'll be fixing it to the neckline. So before fixing, I'm folding about 1/2 inch in to conceal or to hide the rough edge of the bias before pinning the other parts to it. So at this point, I've pinned to this part, and then I'll just place the extra layer in, as you can see, and then pin. So after pinning, I'll just go ahead and then sew 1/2 inch all round. So after sewing my 1/2 inch, I'll go ahead and take off my pins and then trim off the excess fabric in, then fold the other part on top. So after trimming, I'm just going to fold this in. So as you can see, I'm folding that part in, and then the seam will be at the center. So just go ahead and fold it in and then pin all through to the end. So as you can see, I'm taking my time to pin that part in order for me not to make mistakes. So do it slowly and gently for it to come out nice, since it's around the neck and it will be seen. So take your time and pin it slowly, and then take it to the machine and then stitch 1/2 inch. So after stitching, this is what I have, and our dress is done at this point. Yes, so don't forget to like, comment and share my videos.